you talk about leadership and what must we practice, but what is leadership in your mind and what must we do to practice it?
Yeah, I think firstly is to recognize leadership is not about a role. It's not about a position on an organization chart. Leadership is the way that you are, how you show up. It's a being, is the way that I describe it. It's the
Mm,
whole of you. And everyone is a leader because everyone's a leader of self. And then, of course, there are others who may influence the people around them who do have of authority or influence, if you like, but they don't take the position that they do, however, lead from wherever they are. I think leadership is the desire to leave things better than you found them. It's the desire to not necessarily always just accept the status quo, but to ask the important questions about what is working, what maybe isn't working as well as it could. What can I do about it? So I think there's a really strong presence of what can I do? How am I responsible? What's the difference that I can make? So there's a big contribution piece, I think, in leadership. And if you talk about servant leadership, obviously that's very important. So leadership for me is a way of being and a way of showing up and having presence. And the practice of leadership for me is recognizing that, being aware of that, and then looking at how do I need to reflect on my practice of showing up and being, and what can I do to elevate that? Are there things that I don't do very well at the moment or I don't know how to do? How do I get those skills? How do I then apply them? What can I learn from that? So the practice is recognizing leadership is a responsibility every day. And part of that is really recognizing that I need to continue to learn and grow so I can always serve.
I want to just talk to you about that very first part when you describe what a leadership is. You said it's being. Do you have any coaching for those of us who been leaders for a while and we have that? In order to be that, I think you got to have some confidence. If I have
Mm,
some new people coming on board, I got to get them to take that step into being a leader, which means they got
mm,
to find a way to be confident. Do you have any
mm.
coaching for us to help me coach my people to be a leader, being the leader?
Sure. Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to asking yourself the right questions and to reflect on yourself. Everyone comes with different experiences and strengths and knowledge and skills. And I think sometimes we focus on the things we don't yet have rather than focusing on all of that great equipment we've already got. And so, if you want to build confidence, I would really be encouraging people to look for what do they already know? How have they contributed in the past? What are the strengths they bring? And really harness those things. And over time, to reflect on the great progress they made, the small wins along the way. It's not always about the great big milestone
Hmm.
achievements. Sometimes it's the little day to day things that allow us to capture the difference that we're making in those little moments. And that builds confidence because we're recognizing ourselves really often and we're building this collection of evidence about the difference we make, how we lead, and who we are being as a leader.